Okay, so in this video, I just want to quickly look at the Google Analytics. In the last video, we pasted the code which we got through their setup. When we go into admin, it gives us certain tools. And the way you get to here, just to kind of remind you about that process, what we do, if you type into Google AdWords, AdWords, what will happen is it will take you, give you a link, and it will take you through to the AdWords site. Now, AdWords is kind of the hub for the commercial side of Google. So if you've got accounts, it seems to be that AdWords is the place that these accounts work from. And when you go into the admin area, it allows you here to then go into the different elements, like for example, keyword tool or the keyword planner as it is now, as well as the analytics. So quite simply what you do is you go to type in AdWords. It'll ask you to log in with your Gmail account if that's how you've got it set up, and you get through to here through the admin area, and you can see that this is for the Online Marketers Toolkit, and you can see the URL there is the one that we would have had set up for the Weebly website. And the date range here is just end of January to end of February, so it's just pulled up a last month, and the site's only been up a couple of days, and you can see down here that the tracking data is showing visits. Now, these are probably visits by me going just to the site to check out that everything's working, and going back and publishing the site and just looking at some of the pages and making sure they're loading properly. So basically what you do is when you go down to here, you've got your tracking data which comes up, so you can actually look at demographics, the geographical location of your people that are finding the site. So all this data gets tracked. There's obviously not too much in here at the moment because it's a brand new site, and there's not much activity going on it. But what will happen is all this information is, you don't have to spend hours and hours analysing it, but what it can do is give you some good feedback on your campaign. So say, for example, you are running a campaign where you're getting traffic from article submission, and you're writing articles and posting those into specific article databases. The information that this will track here is how many people might have clicked through from an article with a link in it back to the website or any other stuff that you've put in there where you're linking back. So the process is really just a way of actually trying to get people interested in your products, and the way you can do that is to put stuff out there, create articles, write on a blog, and put various links into different things that you're doing. So in the case of this, because the page itself is just a simple page really with what we call a landing page, the key element there really is just to get people interested in there and either interested enough to buy the product off the page or to find out more information by going through to this website, where then there's the free report which they can download and opt into the list basically. And that is one way that I could track the data, by looking at how many people have gone directly to the URL on here. And so on the dashboards, it gives you all this kind of data here, and you can just go in and just click on it, and it will give you, like for example, the audience here, visits, new visits, the bounce rate, which is, if people leave the page, it's probably me looking at it and just coming off the page again. So it's worth getting that set up. Even if you don't use it much in the short term, it'll give you a clue as to how you track your ROI, as it's known, your return on investment. So once you start investing in pay-per-click campaigns, if you decide to go down that route, then you can see that so many hits have come in from certain places that you've put articles or adverts and that kind of thing, and what pages they're going through to. So if you've got a site which has got 3 or 4 pages, but maybe it's the same thing but they're keyed differently, what that means is that the name you give to the page is slightly different to the other page, but it might have the same content. And then you could advertise one page with the slightly different name in one place, and the other page in a different place. So to all intents and purposes, the page looks the same to the viewer, but they've actually got a very slightly different URL. And that means that you can see if one URL is getting more clicks through from a different advertising place. So all this stuff, it comes together in the long run, where it can give you a chance to either, save money from advertising or earn money if you're getting better click through from certain places. So just to reiterate this, go into Google, type in AdWords, and then log in via your Gmail account. And then when you go through to admin, it gives you, this is the Online Marketers Toolbox, and we can go in and look at all the data that we want to. And like, for example, the tracking info. Here it's just showing us again the tracking code that we set up, that we put together in the last video. So everything's all in one place for you. Okay, so my advice is just to get stuck in with that. And once you get to learn how to use it, it'd be quite a useful tool for future campaigns.